Have you ever thought to yourself, what if Dragon Ball Super decided to bring back Super Saiyan 4, and how would they do it? Would it even be possible? Well, today I'm going to list off 5 of the most logical ways that Super Saiyan 4 could be introduced in the future of Dragon Ball Super, and we're going to talk all about them right now. How's it going, everyone? InnovativeJdawg here, and welcome back to yet another Dragon Ball discussion. Today's topic is going to revolve yet again around the Super Saiyan 4 transformation, but unlike the video I made the other day, where I discussed whether or not Dragon Ball Super needed Super Saiyan 4, today's video is going to be me listing off several ways that Super Saiyan 4 could come back, should it ever be brought into canon material. If you want to check out that other Super Saiyan 4 video I made, link will be down in the description, or you can click the card up in the top right of the screen. Before we dive deep into today's topic, make sure you smash that thumbs up button if you love the Super Saiyan 4 transformation, or if you love Dragon Ball in general, so that way other Dragon Ball fans can also see this video, and also subscribe to this channel so you can stay up to date on all of my Dragon Ball content, since I make a ton of it. With that being said, let's get right into it. Number 5. Dragon Ball Super deciding to remake Super Saiyan 4 altogether. It's always possible that Super Saiyan 4 could be brought back, but it wouldn't be the exact same Super Saiyan 4 that we all know and love. In fact, it could be changed altogether and would just be a loose representation of what Super Saiyan 4 originally was. Maybe it's redesigned to have a slightly different appearance, or maybe it'll have a slightly different color of fur. Maybe the concept on how to achieve it has been entirely changed and updated to match the godlier tone of Dragon Ball Super, or maybe even the name of the form is dropped so it's no longer Super Saiyan 4, but instead called something like Super Saiyan Primal or Primal Super Saiyan. Let me just say, I definitely would not want this scenario to happen. That's why it's at the very bottom of the list. Would it be interesting to see a newly designed Super Saiyan 4 sporting different colors or new designs altogether? Yeah, I would love to see a golden Super Saiyan 4 for it to better match the colors of the mainline Super Saiyan forms, or even have brown fur to closer match the color of the Uzaru. Would it be cool for the form to be nicknamed Super Saiyan Primal or Feral Super Saiyan or something like that? With enough context, that name change could work, and just like what happened with Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan's name change to Super Saiyan Blue, I'm certain that fans would just call it Super Saiyan 4 regardless. But I really wouldn't want DBS to completely scrap SSJ4, rebuild it from the ground up, and display it as something new, when it's obviously supposed to be the same exact thing as the old Super Saiyan 4. Sure, they did that with Broly's character by giving him a complete makeover, but revamping a character is a lot different than revamping a form. Is it possible to start from the ground up and pull certain aspects from the old form to amalgamate a new one? Certainly. But you and I both know that there would be a lot of people who would not be happy, and at the end of the day, it would just feel like a knockoff version of this fan favorite form. Number 4. DBS deciding to remake GT altogether. Rather than remaking Super Saiyan 4 as an individual form, what if Dragon Ball Super decided to remake the entire story of Dragon Ball GT? For all we know, DBS could remake it altogether, or heck, there wouldn't even necessarily need to be a full remake of Dragon Ball GT. Many fans around the world would be happy if the story of that series was just sort of ported over and tacked on after the ending of Dragon Ball Z. But I think it would be much more interesting if Super actually tweaked things from GT that worked and modernized its story as a whole. Maybe one day I'll do a video covering what a remake of Dragon Ball GT could potentially look like. Let me know if you're interested in that video. Anyway, Super Saiyan 4 in its full glory could just be ported over and could tag alongside a newly revamped Dragon Ball GT. That way, no changes to the form would be necessary at all. It would literally just be ported over and made canon, since GT takes place after both DBZ and DBS. But there are a few problems that come with this scenario. The biggest issue being, you'd have to remake the entirety of Dragon Ball GT. That would take a lot of time, energy, and work, and I really don't see a full-on remake of GT happening anytime soon. Maybe if they ever wanted to revisit GT and sort of bring it back into canon, maybe they would do sort of a Dragon Ball GT Kai kind of thing. But anyway, is it possible? Sure, but I just don't see this happening. But I will say though, this is perhaps the one scenario where Super Saiyan 4 could be brought back and would remain almost exactly the same as it was originally depicted, because there would be no changes necessary. There would just need to be a lot of extracurricular work to make this possible. Number 3. Make Super Saiyan 4 God-related, or it's connected to Beerus's power. I've mentioned this in the past, but if Dragon Ball Super wants to bring Super Saiyan 4 back, and if it wants to make the form be able to contend with godly forms like Super Saiyan Blue, or even Ultra Instinct, SSJ4 is gonna need a bit of a power boost, perhaps inspired by Divine Energy, God Ki. Now, unlike what I said earlier where the form or the concept of Super Saiyan 4 could be recreated, redesigned, and tweaked altogether, essentially making it into an entirely new form, this idea actually ties into a new theory that's popped up in the community in the recent chapters of the DBS manga. It's a loose theory that wouldn't recreate Super Saiyan 4, but would modernize it and would revamp it to fit modern Dragon Ball. With that being said, if you're not caught up in the DBS manga, be warned that there will be slight spoilers throughout the next minute or two. So a lot of people have been throwing around the idea that Vegeta's next form could be a godly rendition of Super Saiyan 4, and to many, it's kind of a ridiculous idea, but it's not impossible. We all know that his training with Beerus is going to lead him into acquiring some sort of new God of Destruction-like power, and based off of Chapter 70, which comes out in a day or two, he's already learning how to perform the Hakai technique. With Beerus being loosely connected to Saiyan history, and after what he said in Chapter 69 about how his destructive nature has a lot in common with the destructive history of the Saiyans, fans have been theorizing that once Vegeta completes his training with Beerus, he'll be able to tap into the godly yet primal form of Saiyan power, a Super Saiyan 4 that's been boosted with Divine Energy. It's kind of an ongoing theory and it hasn't really been developed beyond that basic line said by Beerus, but I could definitely see Super Saiyan 4 getting a godly revamp sometime in the future. Do I think Vegeta will get it in the Granola arc? Personally, I don't. I've made a few discussion videos theorizing what Vegeta's godly training could lead to, but I'm not going to completely toss the godly SSJ4 theory out of the window. I just don't think this is a likely scenario, but it's not impossible. Number 2. The Universe 6 Saiyans. A lot of people overlook the Universe 6 Saiyans, and it might be because they just don't like their characterizations, or they think they've gotten way too powerful without really earning that power. A lot of people want to see the Universe 6 Saiyans achieve God Ki though, due to their close relationship with Champa and Vados, and while that certainly seems like the next logical step if we get more development for these characters, I actually think it would be a bit more interesting if they were sent down a different route, and if they discovered new ways to get stronger, a new line of transformations that would make them stand apart from the Saiyans that we already know. Of course, I'm talking about Super Saiyan 4. For all we know, Saiyans in Universe 6 have a different molecular makeup than the ones that we see in Universe 7. That's most likely not true, but you never know. Maybe they can go down that route that we saw in Dragon Ball GT, where after obtaining forms like Super Saiyan 3, since we know Caulifla in particular wants to achieve that form, maybe they can regrow their tails, obtain the Golden Uzaru, and then transform into Super Saiyan 4. Wouldn't that be interesting? Of course, it's just a theory and is purely hypothetical, but by giving the Universe 6 Saiyans the chance to obtain Super Saiyan 4, they'd be given that opportunity to stand apart from the Universe 7 Saiyans, and wouldn't have to play catch-up by achieving God forms that have already been introduced. Number 1. Broly's Ikari state. Finally, the most likely and potentially the only logical way Super Saiyan 4 could be introduced in Dragon Ball Super is through Broly's Ikari state. I really don't even need to explain this scenario because everybody in the Dragon Ball fandom already knows about the connections between Super Saiyan 4 and the Ikari state. It feels like one of those theories that's becoming more common knowledge as each day passes. I mean, Fighters has already made a reference to just how similar these two forms are, so yeah. But if you need a little refresher on what Broly's Ikari state is, It was introduced in the 2018 movie Dragon Ball Super Broly and was a brand new state that was entirely unique to the character of Broly, at least for right now. The Akari state allowed Broly to tap into the raw power of the basic Uzaru transformation without actually having his body go through the process of transforming into that Great Ape appearance. However, there were a few slight changes that indicated this state as a separate form from the user's base form, with the most notable traits being increased muscle mass, spikier hair, and piercing yellow eyes that are fairly similar to the eyes of the Super Saiyan 4 transformation. And as we all know, the Super Saiyan 4 form is very closely related to the Uzaru form, since to even achieve this form in the first place, the user had to transform into a golden Uzaru and gain substantial control of their consciousness within that form. Thus, they'd revert back to a humanoid appearance. These two forms are nearly identical to each other, and it could be argued that Broly's Akari state is Dragon Ball Super's recreation of the Super Saiyan 4 form. It just doesn't have the same name or appearance, just the same concepts and methods behind it. In my eyes, if Dragon Ball Super ever wanted to expand beyond Broly's Akari state and develop it into something new, it's no doubt gotta go after that feral nature of the Saiyans, and it needs to be based off of how Super Saiyan 4 is achieved after gaining control of the Golden Uzaru that we saw in Dragon Ball GT. I think it would be cool to see a godly rendition of Super Saiyan 4, but I would much prefer it to be more down-to-earth and feral as opposed to the whole calm tranquility that we see with the god forms. Perhaps by gaining a substantial mastery over his Akari state and training its power further, Broly could be the one and only Saiyan capable of tapping into a canon Super Saiyan 4, at least until other Saiyans start tapping into their own Akari states as well, if that ever were to happen. To me, this is the most logical way for Super Saiyan 4 to return. It's just too perfect of a coincidence for this scenario not to lead into anything. And the other theories, while they are pretty cool, they just don't make nearly as much sense as this one does. And there we have it, everyone. Those are just 5 possible ways for Super Saiyan 4 to be brought back and introduced in Dragon Ball Super. Are there any other possible scenarios that I may have missed that you've thought about? Do you even want Super Saiyan 4 to come back at all? Leave your comments down below and let's have a discussion. I would love to hear all your thoughts, and I'm very curious to know all your opinions, so please comment, and while you're at it, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button to help push this video into YouTube's algorithm. The more likes this video has, the more likely it is that other Dragon Ball fans will also see this video. Plus, it gives me an idea of how much you liked this video. While you're at it, click that subscribe button and turn on post notifications by clicking that bell icon. That way, you'll be able to see whenever I upload a new video. If you're a fan of all things Dragon Ball, you'll definitely want to stick around because I make a ton of content ranging from reviews, discussions, speculation videos, and I even do what if videos from time to time. If all that interests you, you'll definitely want to subscribe. As always though, thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Until my next video though, I will be seeing all of you Dragon Ball fans later. See ya!